Good morning and welcome back to Miniature Monday here on Gaming with ADHD. It has been a weekend. Whatever. I got nothing. I did manage to actually get a game to the table with the family yesterday. Just something simple. Played a game of Mind the Gap. But I have also been working on... Actually, I was working on sleep this weekend. It was great. Good morning, Mage. How are you, sir? Thank you so much for being here. So, let's see. All right. So, we're going to do... I'm still working on Star Wars Shatterpoint. I didn't even have a chance to get to it this weekend. So I want to build a little bit of that this morning, and then we will keep working on the ice ferret and the griffin that we started on Friday. So, anyways, glad you got some sleep, sir. Like, I feel like nice. Have fun with that, Hungar. I feel like I was doing all the sleeping, but overall, it was good. It was a good weekend. I really don't have anything to complain about. So today we're gonna work on the Ahsoka Tano squad. So we've got all of her parts right here, so we're going to pull that out, get her assembled. Good morning, Malachi. So, but then I've also been doing a little bit of reading this weekend, which was good. Holy crap, I am so nervous. Seriously, these lightsabers. I mean, they look cool. But I'm waiting for one of them to break. And good morning, Mistress V. Anyways, but I was doing some reading. Hungar. Way to make me jealous, my friend. So I'm trying to be less fat. But I'm also trying to not be depressed at the same time. Is the simple way to put it. So it's been lots of protein shake smoothies and smaller portions, which has actually been fine because in the last month I am down like 11 pounds. But good morning, Mundo. Yeah, and I need to exercise. Yeah, that's the worst part. I don't know if it's because basically once all the like stomach issues started at the beginning of July. I don't know if that's what made me exhausted all the time, or if it's just because I've been lazy about doing exercise. Anyways, so that's also on today's list of projects. So Malachi, I totally understand that, and I don't have a good answer for you. Mostly because I am not a licensed therapist. But I was also reading some stuff about how, like, modern quote-unquote therapy is quote-unquote designed for women. You know. And I think there's some merit there. And so I hate, like, it's frustrating. Okay, I don't want to say I hate. I don't like how a lot of like okay, most of us here in chat, I'm assuming, are dudes. Well, we have Mistress V. I'm assuming not dude. And as dudes, we don't want to talk about feelings and stuff, but we do need to talk, and we do need to get crap off our chest. So it's kind of a catch-22. So that is fair, Mage. It is dangerous to make such assumptions. Again, that's like most everyone so far who's talking in chat, I've actually met in real life. Well, online real life. Like I've seen the live camera feeds, so I'm gonna count that as real life. You know, Mistress V, I will admit I could be off on. Anyways, so anyways, so but Malachi, part of what I was going to get, man, there's, holy crap, I have like kicked a hornet's nest with this with chat so far this morning. Because I'm gonna agree with Hungar. You know, quitting porn, working out, and going to church. Obviously, for those of you who know me and have met me in online real life, know that I am a big proponent of all of those. So, Hungar, I'm glad that that's helping you. Malachi, I'm glad to hear that that has helped you as well. But yeah, it's rough. But like, anyway, so one of the things that I was, holy crap, how does this work? Oh, that's the back of her head. Awkward. Here we go. Hey, look. The face just sits right into place. But yeah, so like I was, this thing that I'd read said that guys kind of need to, like, guys will talk about stuff, But generally, they need to be doing something. And like the example that it used, which, you know, I mean, it's a quote unquote normal example, was like two guys working on a car. And like, and basically it was like, you put a couple of dudes, you know, in front of a broken car. Oh, hey, can you hand me that wrench? Yeah, here you go, man. Hey, can you know, hold this piece, you know, do this, whatever. And essentially it was saying that that's when guys would start to open up and talk about stuff. It's like, I kind of wonder if anyone has ever like tried that. You know, like instead of, here, come to my office and sit here and we're going to talk about stuff that you really don't want to talk about. But instead, like, hey, you know, guys, this is therapy night, you know, straight up, I'll tell you that, but we're going to work on a car while we do it. Or we're going to build a gazebo. Or, you know, something along those lines. You know, like, if there was a quote-unquote group therapy session that you know, like, and you don't even have to, you know, kind of, lack of a better way to put it, like, think of like sort of like an AA meeting. for lack of a better way to put it, but like an AA type meeting. You don't even have to say anything. Maybe you just need to sit there and listen. You know, whatever it is. Like I think something like that would be helpful. So I'm sorry I'm not in Pennsylvania, so we can try that out, Malachi. Not that you necessarily wanted anyone to know you were in Pennsylvania. Sorry. But anyways, just my random thought, because we know how this chat goes. Right, and I think I've probably watched some similar videos on that, just because it is interesting. I mean, I've got 3 boys. One's married. I'm not as worried about him. My youngest has had a girlfriend since end of freshman year in high school. She's a sweetheart. We really like her. But my middle son struggles a bit. He's got some friends, but mostly it's just staying home, playing video games. You know, I wish I could be like, hey, you and me, let's go do a car mechanic class or something. I don't. He doesn't like me very much, so I don't think it would work. Anyways. Yeah, dude, you're not wrong. So it's a struggle. I mean, and especially as a dad of boys. Woo, Ahsoka's done. That was pretty fast. But as a dad of boys, as someone about to be a grandfather to a boy. Oh yeah, if I didn't mention, grandbaby's gonna be a boy. It is awkward when my wife and I are left unsupervised in the toy aisle and they're running a clearance. It was great. Yeah, dude, Malachi, that's rough. I mean, I'm in a mixed boat. Like, I've made some really good friends online with all the YouTube stuff. But I'm also lucky in that I've got some really good friends in real life as well. Apparently, Kim says I'm wrong. Hold on. Okay, folks, I'm going to put it to chat. I just said I have some pretty good friends in real life as well. To which Kim replies, "That's what you think." How is that not Kim saying that I'm wrong? Because when I said, Kim says I'm wrong, she's like, that's not what I said. Okay, apparently I assume too much by having real life friends. Mundo, you're a great friend. And Bear, welcome. Friends. We're all making friends here. It's all friends. Friends, friends, friends. No, I have made some absolutely great friends, you know, doing this YouTube stuff. I actually, Mundo, I would say I think we've become better friends because of the YouTube stuff. And I know you in real life, and I've known you since before I was, Bruno, you're a great friend. And Bear, you are also a person I know. Let's say that. No, Bear, you have been a good friend. You've given me lots of opportunities. You know, helped my channel. There's lots of good stuff. No, I'm not doing the bear head on Bo-Katan. I don't like bear heads because then I have to paint faces, and I suck at that. That generally helmets in sci-fi are kind of cool. So, yes, my heart is black as pitch. I'm not sure black as a pitch is the right way to say that, because then my brain says, "Oh, like a soccer field," which is green, and that's not very black. At least that's how my brain went. Oh, and with this, I'm going to say, boob armor is a classic for a reason. Oh, yeah, now that I reread it, yes, that is a typo. My brain knew that as was supposed to be there. And I just added it, and continued to read a pitch. Yep, that's how this morning is going. Sorry, Bear. Yeah, tonight's gonna be great because I have essentially switched over to a like the last 2 nights I've slept most all night long. So when I go to work tonight, that's gonna be super fun. Anyhow, so oh yeah, so I never did mention, it's like, say what else I did this weekend. Because like I did we had the family over and got to play Mind the Gap, which was fun. I really liked that game. Not even, I mean, it's like, it's a reskin of Uno. We're really not, getting too complicated here. But then also, because, as always, I get distracted by new games and new projects and new things. I was at the used bookstore again. And saw the player's guide and game master's guide for Alternity. And I'd seen Cody do a video on it. I'd seen a couple other people talk about it. And so I'm like, oh, this will be interesting. So I've kind of been reading over those a little bit this weekend. Highly distracted, so okay, that looks unnatural. Like, that really looks unnatural. Oh, it's okay. She's supposed to be turned. Like, sometimes, okay, pro tip. Okay, amateur tip. Man, Kim is on a tear this morning.
Had my Dr. Pepper makes me fight.
Clearly. Sometimes you have to read, like, farther down the instructions to see what something's supposed to look like. So you make sure that, you get it positioned properly. Did I miss something? I did. Oh my gosh, they have so many of these just like these teeny tiny pieces. Here, I mean, you're probably going to lose this, but we can. We can cast this as a separate teeny tiny piece that, it's not a problem. Not a problem, just deal with it. So anyhow, essentially that was my weekend. Plus went to church, you know, as one does. What the? Oh, come on. Okay, they're gonna pin every single other piece, but they're not gonna pin that? Just when I thought I wouldn't really complain about these, like, okay, like teeny tiny pieces, that's a complaint I've got. But like in general, every single piece pins to the adjacent piece. Which is amazing. Like, super easy to make sure that you're able to assemble and get everything working. Would I be willing to assemble some Sisters of Battle for you? Okay, number one, I still have to assemble my Sisters of Battle. But number two, yeah, we could work something out. Actually, oh my gosh, I still haven't done that project yet. Mundo talking reminded me that I have a laser project to do for him, but I still haven't gotten the laser working. Whoa. Paragon War suits are so tedious. Actually, speaking of Paragon War suits, have my suits come in yet? Yeah, in general, I like doing the assembly. It's usually not too complicated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. It's usually not too complicated, but it's a little relaxing. All right, now we have generic Mandalorians. Okay, cool. Ooh, thanks for the tip. I have credit at Barnes & Noble that I haven't used yet. I also haven't seen anything that I'm like, ooh, I have to have this.
But priests are like character models, right? So it's not like a unit or anything. Ah! Sounds like I have a crow in the backyard. I don't think crows are mean to chickens. Yeah, Barnes and Noble, it's like I go because they carry board games. But honestly, I'm just hoping to find stuff on clearance. Here, I want this thing, but I don't want to pay you full price for it. And so that's like the only reason I go there. Kim will look for books, or kids will look for books. Occasionally I'll go and I'll see if there's like any like graphic novels or something that I want. Actually, I'm a little frustrated at the used bookstore. Okay, now keep in mind, I have plenty of credit to get whatever I want at the used bookstore, but they did this quote-unquote summer reading thing where if you bought 9 books, then you get the 10th book for free. Now, sadly, role-playing books don't count as books. So I don't get to use it for that. But the books are, or so like, you could buy any book and get the stamp, and then but then the one that you get for free can be worth up to $40, which is like, that's a pretty good deal. So Kim got 9 books. Using all of my trade-in credit, by the way. I didn't mind. I have so much credit, it's ridiculous. But so like I'm trying to find something that lets me just, you know, maximize the value of the free book, and because also the catch to it is that it can be any book, and while it's a used bookstore, they also have like new stuff sometimes. So I can even buy a new book, which, I mean, that's
That's a pretty good deal.
And at one of the shops in the past, they've had the Akira graphic novels, which I've never read. But like right now, they only have like book 3. I don't have any of them. So, you know, why get book 3? I don't have book 1. But then, like, because, like, you've also got to deal with, like, you can't... So I can't get, like, say I found something for, like, $50. Well, I couldn't, you know, just pay the difference. I have to get... It has to be, you know, $40 or under. So, needless to say, I'm struggling to find something. I'm probably going to go to the bookstore again today. I swear, Kim is tired of me going to the used bookstore. Which is fine, I get it. But again, it's like there's always stuff being traded in. You know. It's like usually like once a week. Sometimes more, depends. I'll go to the one close to me. Then like once a month, I'll go to the one farther from me. Now, keep in mind, I'm in the Phoenix area. Like, then there's like, so the company is actually based out of Tucson, which is about like 90 minutes to 2 hours south of us. So I promised Kim that no more than every 6 months would I make us drive down to Tucson. They're also not as good. Mundo, Black Library books, it depends on the book. Dan Abnett is almost always worth it. Horus Heresy, all depends. Malachi, I'm assuming you said you have a second in Charles. I'm assuming you meant a second chance. Mostly because I don't know what's at second in Charles in your neck of the woods. Yeah, that's been the interesting thing. So like, I've talked to a few other people, and like they don't have anything like this used bookstore. So it's really interesting to go in, just because of the things that I find. Like people are like, how did you find that? And I'm like, because it was on the shelf. Mundo, I will slightly disagree with you on that one. Like, the funny thing is, like, my favorite is Mesa. Like, for gaming stuff, Mesa is straight up the best. For everything else, okay. Second and Charles, it's part of Books A Million. Okay. I have obviously never heard of it. But now I want to know more. Oh, I almost trimmed off an actual part of the model, not Flash.
Let's see here. Now I want to see this. Second and Charles. Secondandcharles.com. Find a store. Augusta, Georgia, Aurora, Colorado, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Auburn Hills, Michigan. Man, these are all over the place. Louisiana, Chicago, North Carolina, South Carolina, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Ooh. Chattanooga, Tennessee. I mean, there are none in Arizona. Hoover, Alabama. I'll explain why I'm excited here in just a minute. Madison, Alabama. Oh, Kim is going to be so annoyed with me. Orem, Utah. Tuscaloosa. Okay. Huh. Interesting. That's actually kind of cool. Okay, so Malachi, like, is it mostly new? Is it like mostly used? Yeah, Goodwill from my understanding is also is kind of a mix.
Bro, it's this.
You're going crazy.
Tanner,
You're on drugs.
you're wrong.
Exactly.
I am on drugs.
Wow, that just blinded me out. It's never good to
I don't want to call it a scam bear, but I don't entirely disagree with you. Like, a lot of people don't realize that it's actually a for-profit business. Like, they assume it's a not-for-profit, so that is kind of sketchy. And
No, if you're not sick.
hold on one second, folks.
Seriously, children.
Dress for the job you're going for.
Yeah.
Have you seen the people at Discount Tire? Oh my, I'm gonna.
I'm going to
Do
walk.
I need to find you someone to teach you how to do it?
I'm going to go in like this.
Oh my
I'm going
gosh.
to walk out with the job.
No, you're not.
Bet.
$20.
$20.
You're going to be highly disappointed when you stubbornly argue with us and choose not to listen to us because we've been there. We've
Actually,
done that.
let's-
We have the experience.
Let's put it to the
Go
chat.
Google it.
Let's put
Okay,
it to
we'll
the
be
chat, and then we'll get back to
Google
Goodwill.
it,
All right, chat.
Because it's a base level
My
job.
son is
That
going
doesn't
to go
Just
apply
like Bryce
for a
was.
job
That doesn't matter.
Mother,
at Discount Tires.
Dad, nobody cares.
He thinks it's acceptable to essentially wear a t-shirt and jeans to apply for this job. Kim and I are saying, wear a polo shirt. He's saying, dress for the job you want,
Duh!
of which everyone at Discount Tire wears polo shirts or button-ups. But Kim and I are the wrong ones.
Stop it. Text your friend. Text him
Right!
and ask him.
He
Ev-
would say the same.
No, he wouldn't.
No!
Yes, he would.
He would say what we were saying. The entire universe
He
is
would
saying.
literally straight up say, "We're all retards here. Nobody's going to care."
All right, we have
That shirt is like one size too small and you could put something else on.
nope, polo and khakis at a minimum. We have he is wrong.
No.
We have polo is fine.
I'm going
We
to
have-
be all wrong.
I say give him your advice, then let him fail on his own merit.
We do that all the time.
We have wear a tie and a button-up shirt and say he wants to move up in the company.
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen.
When this guy interviewed for a promotion, he wore a polo and khakis. We even were cutting you some slack and saying the jeans are fine. Thanks, everyone.
You don't really get to be validated when he's that stubborn.
Oh, no. Stephen Cross, tutu and a tall hat. Or is that supposed to be?
Write some stuff, take some cough drops. You don't want to be coughing like that in the interview. Oh God, wear a shirt that actually looks like it fits you.
It does fit me.
Bro!
Fight me.
and
I will!
No, you won't.
Smack you around it.
and that's why this is just a painted chill.
Which insurance? My insurance?
Do not wear PJs and slippers. I just... And if you were here earlier, that's the child I don't get along with.
I committed to buying me food and me paying you back. I said that's how it would work. No! Because I still have to prove
And-
it wrong.
Mage,
Extra, I go to Crocs as well.
yes,
That's the
he's
same
still
thing.
arguing.
Hold on.
All right, we are just about done with the build phase of the program. But yeah, Mage, me doing these live streams, that's the reality show featuring my family. Number one, I overshare. And number two, I'm just here in the living room, and so anything that happens is probably going to get picked up on camera anyways.
I want to break things now.
Please not me.
But you're the only thing there.
Hi, beautiful.
You stress me out.
Because he's your child. That's why. Anyhow, let's get back to painting some miniatures. I mean,
Throw chickens at Dad while he's streaming? Yes. No, at Dad.
apparently now we're considering throwing chickens around. All right, so we've got this Griffin, which was, I believe, 5th Donegal Guards. 5th Donegal Guards, that's right. All right. So essentially we're just going to like metal up the joints, some of the vents, and then we're going to checkerboard these white sections. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. That was actually one of the reasons that I stopped on Friday as opposed to filling those in, because I haven't done this for a while, so I don't know if anyone even remembers my little trick that on this. No, hey, Mundo, I get it, but as dad, you gotta try. That's really all it comes down to, is just I want my children to succeed, but I realize that I can't make them succeed. All I can do is just give my best advice. Anyways, so if you want to do checkerboards, this ain't hard. Just get a pencil. Draw in your divider lines. And then come back with paint. And fill in between the divider lines. I know it doesn't really oh, there you go. You can kind of see it there. Because I'll be honest, I ain't gonna freehand this crap. So there you go. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the disaster that is my home, Malachi. Oh, that's gonna be awkward. But that's my fault. Anyhow, so what did everyone else get up to this weekend? Play any games? Do anything exciting? All right. Anyways, literally, just pencil in a checkerboard, and then go through and paint it. And it's super easy. The Combat Arena GW box, dude. I'll do an unboxing on it. That's fine. Stephen Cross has been painting some tanks. There you go. I'm gonna use this a little curved brush, but with some of the spots, I think that'll actually be good. Malachi, session for your game was postponed. That's the worst. Like everybody's all excited and ready to play, and I was like, I gotta push it off a week. Dang. I got 3 other things that same day. Can we push it off 2 more weeks? It's frustrating. So I'm sorry your game got delayed. Mage did some AD&D on Saturday, and then a board game Sunday. Can't argue with a board game Sunday. All right, so I'm nervous about this because all that blue that I mixed is dry, so I don't want to. Paint outside the lines. You're 7 sessions behind on your below recaps. Which is sad, because I like Merlinster Gandaldor's session recaps. Oh, speaking of, actually no, Mage, well, you'd probably still appreciate it. Did I show you one of my used bookstore acquisitions? Recaps. He's fine. He's not as cool, but actually, I will admit, regardless of who does the review caps, it shows off your acting talent, so that's good. I'm trying to save these little things so that hopefully the brushes last a little bit longer. Anyways, one of my used bookstore finds, Mage, was the AD&D 2nd edition Monstrous Compendium with a very good binder, 5 sets of monsters in the binder, plus 2 extra sets of monsters. Good morning, Glenn. And I used $80 of my used bookstore credit. And at the time, it still didn't drop me below $400 in trade credit at the used bookstore. So, like, as I've done more with RPG stuff over the last year, I remembered different events, I would say, that prompted me into the hobby. And like the whole so why did I get why did I pick up the binder at the used bookstore? Thanks, Glenn. Remember, put your light color down, pencil in the lines, and then paint in the checkers. I know the lines don't show up very well, but I mean, like, you can kind of see them there. They're sort of straight. They're Battletech straight. Anyway, so the 2E binder, it was 8th grade. We were in the gym for some assembly, and this kid that I knew took it out. And took the binder out. That's what I should say. And I was like, what is that? Not like in an accusatory way, but like, it's like, oh my gosh, that thing's cool. And so he showed it to me and all these monsters, and then it was in a binder, and so like as you got more monsters, you could add them to the binder, and you know, you could reorganize it because it was binder. And I just thought it was the coolest thing. And anyway, so I've always sort of had that memory in the back of my head But obviously I never really got into D&D. I never got into 2nd edition, so I never got my own binder. So when I saw it at the used bookstore, I'm like, I'm going to grab that. I think it would be a fun video to do, to just like flip through it and, you know, tell that story that I've now told a couple of times and in a couple of places, but it's still a fun little flip back. This checker is not coming out very well. I hope touching it up with white doesn't look like crap. Yeah, like I think the binder was more of a cool idea. But the problem is it's a binder. I mean, to put it simply, because don't forget, like think about every 3-ring binder that you had in school. And what happened to like almost every single page, or at least like all of the pages on the top and the bottom? Not necessarily the ones in the middle. What happened to all the pages of your binder? You know, so unfortunately, like the execution was good and bad, but it was a fun memory. No, it's not about it being a trapper keeper and like the fold over. That's not the important part. The important part is that the pages are all going to get trashed, and then on top of that, can you think of one, even your trapper keepers, that actually survived the entire school year? Because I can almost guarantee you that they didn't. You know, so if you're a kid in school with this D&D monster binder, like my understanding is that most of the problems is just finding a good condition one. Which I am actually pretty lucky that the one that I found is pretty good condition. Now, the interesting thing is I'm actually not even sure I'm going to keep it. But I do have a couple of people that it's like, okay, if I don't, you have first dibs. So, sorry, folks. Unless you hear otherwise, it's essentially spoken for. All right, so I'm going to have to go through and touch some of those up. But in the meantime, we got to get some more orange on this guy to try and get. Let's focus. It's not coming through very well, but like this, like almost looks black. Like the orange just did not layer very well. Better than a chisel and hammer into flat stone. That's fair, MadCat352, and welcome, by the way. Oh, actually, that reminds me. Next Monday.
Actually, let me check something real quick. Next Monday, there probably will not be a stream, even though I've been trying to be good and get back to the regular Monday, Friday paint streams. Because next Monday is when I have my endoscopy to try and figure out what's going on with the hernia. So, if I am not here, like it might be a little later, but I think I scheduled it for like 9 a.m. So, short answer, if I'm not here. All right, no worries, Malachi. It's always happy to have you here. So yeah, if I'm not here, that's why. It's not because I'm being lazy. I'm just having a camera shoved down my throat. Okay, this sucks. I'm literally gonna have to put like 2 more layers of orange on this guy just to get it. Yes, an endoscopy, Mundo. Which the doc says that whatever he's doing during the endoscopy should take care of, like, or should, like, 95% chance just get everything resolved for me. I just don't know what he's going to do specifically while he's in there. But that's what I get to do instead of be here and hang out with you all and paint some miniatures. Let's use this one. Oh, so I never did earlier when we were talking about, or when Malachi informed me about Second and Charles. I was excited because there's some in Alabama and Tennessee and in November. Kim and I are gonna head that direction
visit my sister, visit some other friends in the area. And apparently now I get to visit used bookstores. Kim will be super excited. But I'm kind of excited. It's a part of the country that I've never visited before. So we get to check out something new. We'll basically, we're just going to go exploring. My sister's going to take us to do some touristy stuff in Nashville, and then GM Cody, who is also in the area, has agreed to take Kim and I out to do more touristy stuff. By the way, if you're not subbed to GM Cody, please go check out his channel. He put out a video about a new role-playing game that he's working on. He's going to put it out in zine format. Which is an interesting choice. I you know, ow, what was that? Oh, okay. Like, personally, I was like, I would like something a little better, but then it's like, okay, but, you know, cost and it's like the initial stages of a project. So it's like, you know what, doing it in zine format, you know, we can probably put it out for $5 or whatever. I don't know. And then, like, if it does well, could absolutely expand on it. And put it out in bigger format. I don't know. I'd have to look at the paperwork, Mundo. I don't think so. But I will. I know I have to call insurance people. Say, hey, insurance people, are you going to cover this? Oh, and also, just for the record, since I am here painting Battletech, I still haven't gotten my shipping notification for Mercenaries. So that's super hot great. Like I am literally wondering if the Mercenaries Kickstarter might have broken their ability to do Kickstarter in the future. Because just like the number of things that have gone sideways. I will, Mundo. The number of things that have gone sideways is just ridiculous. Like, to the point of, I'd be shocked if people that had backed either or both of the big Battletech Kickstarters would be willing to do it again. I know I'm not necessarily sold like this. Thanks, Mundo. Like the why is my brain turning off? This Friday? What have they been doing the last 2 weeks? Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So like outside of getting stuff early, there was no advantage to the Kickstarter. You weren't getting... There really weren't any exclusives. Like, even the bonus... Like this time they specifically said, oh yeah, everything is essentially... Essentially everything is at retail cost. So it's like you're not even providing the typical Kickstarter incentives, you know. It's like, oh, if you back the Kickstarter, you know, the price is 10% cheaper than if you waited until retail. Oh, I mean that's at least an incentive. But now I was like, nope. You're just gonna pay the same retail price, but you get it early. Okay. I don't know. It's just kind of annoying, and it's like, why? What's What's the point of doing Kickstarter if there's no advantage to it? So, anyhow, we'll see. We'll see if they even do another Kickstarter. They might not. I mean, they were putting out mech packs that weren't funded through Kickstarter. There's literally no reason they couldn't. So, the funny thing, Mage, is I actually completely disagree with that statement. It's like, especially in the game space, like, unless you're like Asmodee, like, you're on a pretty shoestring budget. Even Catalyst, as quote unquote big as they are, there's actually a lot of smoke and mirrors. Like, from my understanding, like, the full-time employees of the company is literally like 10 or less. Like, that's the only job they have. Is 10 or less. And while yes, they can reliably put out product more slowly, having access to stuff like Kickstarter does get them a boost and helps them expand their product offering. Now, should they use it for everything? No. And a company like Catalyst does do a lot without crowdfunding. But the occasional crowdfunding, sure. I don't really have a problem with it. Now, Asmodee doing crowdfunding, kind of have an issue there. But for a lot of game companies, you know, even on the larger side, I'm not going to necessarily say they shouldn't do it. Like, that's actually one thing. So back when they were still around, Spartan Games, like, they originally had the Halo miniatures license, but they were doing a bunch of their own stuff as well. I was actually speaking to him at Gen Con, and like so say the traditional model is, okay, we want to start this game line and we think it'll sell this much. So, but to fund everything, we're going to go get a loan. And, you know, that'll let us do all of our development work, do our initial production, and then put it out into the marketplace. Okay, makes sense. But the guy from Spartan was actually saying that, and this is after Kickstarter had essentially established itself, that essentially, like, at that point the banks were like, you know, we don't want to give you a loan, you should just go do crowdfunding. So under, like, because of crowdfunding coming around, like, it's done damage, for lack of a better way to put it, to the marketplace and the ability for businesses to get traditional financing and stuff. So it's definitely not as cut and dry as, oh, these people, they shouldn't be doing crowdfunding, because they're like, crowdfunding has kind of ruined some of their options. So it's, my point is complicated, Sean. So anyhow, all right, let's see. So I think I've finally got the orange at a good spot. Need to let it dry. I think a wash will kind of hide a lot of it. The Griffin, like, it needs some more detail, but I'm not entirely sure what. Like, obviously I've got a silver in the cockpit. You know what? I still got wet paint. Basically, my brain's checking out at the moment, guys. So I'm not entirely sure how much longer I'm going to be. Then I get to go call the bank, and I get to go to the post office, and I get to... Now, even though I was just there on Friday, I'm still going to treat myself to a trip to the used bookstore. Apparently I have to call the doctor's office. Gotta see why the chickens are all freaking out. Anyways. But yes, I also know that I am free to be wrong, Sean. But I also know that money is a complicated situation. All right. You know what? I don't think I need any more on that. I'm going to leave that alone.
All right, Sean, you have a great day as well, sir. I'm going to go ahead and end it, folks. Unless there are any other questions or something you want to hear me opine on for a moment. But Griffin's coming along. I know I'm going a little bit slower on these, but I'm trying to do some better things. Make things stand out a little bit. But like I said, I think a lot of this will come out in the wash. And then we'll show it off. That's true story, Sean. Anyways, you go have a great day, buddy. All right, folks. So, yes, I know I keep promising other videos. Yes, I will get to it at some point. I'm sorry that I have not done so yet. But if there is, anyway, well, no. I've got some ideas for an RPG video. Don't have any ideas for a board game. Oh my gosh, I said it on Friday. Until last night, I hadn't played a board game all of July. So, and like a 4th of August. So kind of weird, but we'll get there. So yes, I've got some ideas for a video for role playing. Obviously, I will be back on Friday. Monday is probably a no-go, but we will see. But otherwise, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. I do appreciate your time. It is fun. It helps me stay focused, and I hope you all are enjoying it as well, especially when my children go nuts. But all right, on that note, I'm going to end it. Thanks for hanging out.